Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Houston Texans Madden 21 Rebuild franchise. If this is working anyway, seems like it is. Good. At least something is working when this Texans team clearly isn't. Over 70 episodes in, 8 seasons in, no playoff victories, but we keep pushing forward with the Texans. Welcome back, everybody. We have another unofficial episode here as we're just getting into a stream of the preseason action with this team, as we're going to see a couple more of the rookies that I'm really looking forward to watching today. There are, I think, multiple players that have a chance to get a major role in the next year or so, and we're going to get our first look at them today. So welcome everybody as chat fills up. Kane, can Russ Watson play quarterback? I don't see why not. Not on this team, though. Should have picked the other tight end. Yeah, I just liked Fowler a little bit more. The other tight end ended up with a bit more speed and hidden development. So, potentially, that could be, a big miss. And he was less injury prone, too. 85 injury has me a little bit concerned. But, I'm excited to see Fowler today. I think that he could offer something new to the offense. Gordon Norwood's a solid tight end. I just think that Fowler offers so much more upside at the position because his speed, his catching, his route running is where Norwood is as a 31-year-old player. And Fowler is like 22. He's 21. He's 10 years younger, and he's about as talented as him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hindsight, I care about the process, not the result. If the process that led me to select Fowler was flawed, that's another story. If I have buyer's remorse over not getting the highest development player, I ain't chasing that. That's not the right way to get better at your decision making. You gotta be process oriented. What preseason star are you most excited to watch? I'm ready for some Dishman to Kitchen deep balls. I'm glad you asked, Nate. And you know what? Dishman to Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay blocking for Kitchen is going to be a great spectacle. However, there is one player that I think I'm more excited to watch today than Cassius Fowler. He is probably the one that can make the biggest impact early, but I'm actually more excited today to see rookie Danny Arrington out of Lehigh. I selected him in the 3rd round, pick 14, and I look at his skill set and where this roster is going to be a year from now. He had the highest release out of anybody in the class. He can get off the line of scrimmage. He has pretty good speed. 91, let's be honest here, 91 doesn't put you in the top 3%. That's top 15 to 10% speed, I'd say. It's good, but it's not elite. But I'm really excited to see Arrington because I think we're going to have an opening for a receiver to take a spot in the next year. And he's going to have a chance to prove that he can be a deep threat because he does have decent deep route running, good release, which is always nice for winning off the line and giving a quarterback an easy look. So I want to see Arrington today. I think he could play a lot of roles, but I'm very hopeful that he could eventually become a deep threat. And I've been thinking a lot about this team and what's going to happen as contracts come up and they get more expensive and not everybody can stay. How much have I missed? The last 4 minutes. Just intro stuff. So when you can't pay everybody, when you have the right quarterback and you have some players you're paying a lot of money, you have to decide where are you going to sacrifice. And I think the first thing we're going to sacrifice in the future is probably going to be for Macklin's role. As much as I loved watching him play last season, I don't think deep threats offer the value of the massive contracts for a team where we're going to be, and I think their role is a bit more replaceable. So we're probably looking at Macklin finishing out his contract, and then we have to pay like George Ingram, who I just think is probably a better all-around receiver, second in the NFL in receiving yards last season. He plays in the slot. But the first thing I'm going to look to cut is how much we're paying our deep threat. And that's why I want to see Arrington. That's why I want to see Kitchen. And there is another receiver as well that I think has a bit more speed that I picked up in undrafted free agency. So Antonio Werner, he's another one. Hidden dev, undrafted out of USF. He does have more speed than Arrington and is more in the Devin Macklin archetype. So I am actively looking starting today at who the next deep threat is. Who plays that role going forward. All right, I have not been looking at chat as I get through my intro here and get us ready to play some games today. I'm not sure how much of the preseason we're going to watch. It might just be a couple games today. I want to stream for a couple of hours, and we'll see how much we're able to do. At some point, maybe later in this stream or next time or something, I'll probably do some playbook editing. Once I have a good idea of what it is I'm trying to change. I know second down and red zone is kind of the focus right now for getting better. But I'm ready to watch some football, everybody. Here are the focus. Never mind, they're not showing focus players after I do the training. But, we glossed over the defense quite a bit. Why do we want to give Roseman Gambler? It makes it so he can't get picked off. That just sounds too cheesy. That's such a silly online-oriented ability that's meant to, like, you can only get intercepted by user picks. I think that's... I'm not allowing myself to use an ability like that. Anyway, on defense, Montrell Russell. He's got hidden development, and he's right now just a pure run stopper. 84 speed, 82 tackle, 80 block shed. Best run stopper in the entire draft class. High intangibles already, but the coverage is low. He is strictly a two-down player, basically replacing Kirk Martin from last year until he can do more than just stop the run. And last year we had some issues against some teams that were able to run the football, so adding somebody like Russell with some high potential development, not a bad move for us. What else do I want to see today from the defense? I mean, so many of these guys we're so familiar with, so I can't say that there's really anything all that exciting on the defensive side. We're running it back very much with a new off-ball linebacker that's going to play less than 600 snaps, I'd assume. So there's no reason to hype it up. And then we have to watch our specialists. Blankenship returns, but we're trying to find out who the punter is going to be. Wes McKinney is going to get a shot, and we'll see if he's able to prove himself here in the exhibition games. Let's play some football. I already moved JJ to defensive end right before the stream began. We're all good there. Because if you're listed at D tackle, you can't be lined up at end. But if you're listed at end, you can be lined up at D tackle. So that's where he has to stay if I want to be able to play him at any position across the line. Or even outside linebacker, which I don't, but options. How did I like Madden 09 franchise mode? It was fun for the few years that I played it. The only issue I really had with like enjoying that franchise was just the CPU AI as they played. They just weren't very challenging, and it felt like they had a tough time competing, if that makes sense. So I felt like I hit the wall in that series fairly quickly. To like, obviously our team was so bad in the beginning, it was so difficult to win, which was the whole idea. But we hit the wall of like, all right, we can finally win, and the CPU now is not really better than us. Once we hit that wall, I was kind of done. Are there any receiver passes in Madden? Not that I know of. There used to be. I remember one of the mid-2000s Maddens had a double pass that was a big cheese play online. Because you would throw a pass out to the wide receiver, and because he would look to throw, the cornerback would back off into coverage, and that receiver could just run forward for like free yardage if you didn't user it. That was like 15 years ago. Did I pick up Tevin Tyson's 5th year? I did. Yes. Doesn't mean he's necessarily going to be on the team, but I picked it up to have that option. So, first game here, I really just want to sim to the second quarter, if you don't mind. I'd like to focus mostly on the backups, and then I get into more of the starters by the 3rd game because I'm incorporating some of the rookies into the starting offense. I just don't feel like there's much reason to watch Roseman run the same offense with the same players right now. So, we're going into the second quarter. Let me check this out, making sure no injuries happen. Good to go. Kane, love everything you do. First live I've been able to watch. Been following since Kalispell. Keep up the great work. Why, I'm glad you're able to check it out today, Will. I appreciate the support and the super chat. And speaking of Kalispell, in case you didn't know, I've been talking about the Kalispell mega episode, documentary, Kalispell the movie, whatever it is you want to call it. Perhaps you've heard me talk about it over the few last 7 months. It's done. The video is done. 100%. Tomorrow it will be posted. The game plan here is going to be, I'm streaming on the main channel. I'm doing a Broncos franchise stream talking about where that series is going to go. And we're going to go through an off season where I'm not actually planning on controlling Denver, because now I want to just follow the league and see what happens. So I'm still trying to figure out, you know, if it's just going to be that simple for the offseason. But anyway, as soon as that stream is done, the Kalispell movie is being posted. Can I call it a movie? I mean, it's 2 hours and 7 minutes and change. It's a long, long project that took me a long time to put together. The hardest part was not putting it together. It was the planning of like, what is it going to look like? I've never done something like this. Oh, now I know, and now it's easy. Oh, let me check out the depth chart here and get it right. So the plan for the Broncos, and this is not like a secret, I've talked about it on some streams before, I'm just trying to get as many people to know as possible, that we're going to start following the league as a whole instead of just the Denver Broncos. I think that we've done everything there is to do with the team. It hasn't been very challenging, so it's time for us to do something new. And with only a couple months until the next Madden comes out, it's a really good time for me to experiment just as a content creator. And my plan is to do basically, I'm going to control all 32 teams. I'm not actually going to really control them. Maybe I'll make some depth chart changes if I think it just is more entertaining and makes some sense. But I just plan on watching games like this, Texan style. And I'm going to be putting together videos showing you like, here's how the Vikings did this week if like Brandon Warren's having a big season, or the Giants with Prescott Pemberton. And it's going to be multiple games like mashed together, showing you the league. We're going to not, you know, go through games every single week because I want to move through the season faster than that. But that's kind of the premise. We've built up the league, and rather than me just do a 10-year sim and set it off into the sunset, we're going to try just, you know, following the league, not controlling the Broncos anymore. And I hope people like it. It's a big change, so it's like people are resistant to change as it is. So, and I've been doing like the same type of content here for like 10 years. So we'll see what people think. I am very excited about it. And at the very least, like, if I'm excited to make content, that's a good enough reason for me to do something. So I am ready for some football, everybody. Sorry this is taking so long. Slot receiver. I wanted to see Antonio Werner there. Michael Arnett, Daryl Lehman. No Hillhouse. More Chris Carney. I signed some extra tackles just so that nobody gets on the field and gets hurt. And where is Jaden O'Neal? Perfect. All right, all set up. You're wasting Dante Hairston's career. Trade him. How am I wasting his career? He might still have a role. It might reduce this year and increase next. We'll see. Appreciate the super chat, but I think Hairston will be just fine. All right. We're going to see the defense to start things out today. And Montrell Russell just got juked out right away. He is number 51. So not what we want to see the first time we ever see him take the field. But it's the Texans franchise. We're kind of used to things not exactly going as planned. There you go. Nice stop. Good play. Chris Carney's in there. Is this game one? Yeah, it's like the first 3 plays. Yeah, for focus players, we have Montrell Russell. I made Arrington a focus player. And obviously there's one more. I think it was Fowler, just because he doesn't have hidden dev, and this is a way of giving him extra. Do I have relocation off in series like these? Sometimes I do. I think right now in this series it's off, but I may just turn it on just because after a while I don't care as much. So it's year 2 for Daniel Blue. Obviously, he was just all right as a rookie. Not much of a yardage creator. And that's the thing in Madden. If you can't create yards, there's just not enough given to you to really survive in a major role. You've got to be able to run through contact, make people miss. Sheffield up the middle. Love it! Taking off to midfield. I couldn't believe we were able to sign him for $2 million and he would take less. Like, he's an awesome backup quarterback to have. Y'all want the music on or off? Floyd Sheffield looks to throw it. And he's going to take off now and picks up 10 more. No, we lost the football. Yeah, that's always a risk with these quarterbacks that run. Oh, yeah, I might have Rashad Walker as a focus player again. It makes a lot of sense because he's starting. Let's see. I'm seeing a few say off, a few say on. Montrell Russell is the rookie linebacker that we drafted. He is a pure run stopper, but he's a really good run stopper. And he's got hidden dev, so we're hoping he can become more than just a one-dimensional player. That's out of bounds. Can we get some sideline awareness one of these years? In Madden, please. 3rd down and 5. Not much pass rush until late. That's a coverage pressure play there to me. Watching my own CPU versus CPU wildcard game. Love it. It's a fun way to play. You know, I've had interest in games that are more management focused. Like, I've played NFL head coach. I've checked out of the park. I don't know why it took me so long to just, like, do it in Madden. You only care about the players anyway. Like, I don't play the game to win. I play the game to have a franchise experience, and hopefully that involves winning at some point. But it's always been about the players to me, and that's why actually playing the game has just not really mattered for my enjoyment. Come on, Daniel Blue. See? We need some creation there. Hey, Kane, what are you doing for the Broncos franchise? Amari, I talked about that a little bit already, but don't mind reiterating. We are going to be following the league as a whole going forward as Sheffield barely got out of the end zone. I think half the football might have gotten out. But we're going to start following the league as a whole and watching some CPU games, and maybe the Kalispell video tomorrow, the Kalispell the movie, might give you an idea of a little bit of what it can look like when you're mashing together a bunch of games, or an episode like the Rockies franchise, where I sometimes will summarize a game and then show another one in more focus. But I have some ideas for the episodes, and we're going to follow the entire league, and it's just such a different thing that I'm used to doing, so I'm excited. We're going to have CPU games of whatever's interesting around the league. If there's a team breaking out, they're 6-0 to start the year, we're probably going to have a game, at least one, watched to them. And we're going to get to see more of the league. We're still going to watch some Broncos games at the same time, but the presentation of the series is going to be so much different. It might be 3 minutes of me recapping the Broncos-Chiefs game, and then 4 minutes of me recapping another game, and then, like, Game of the Week gets, like, the big focus of the video. Something like that. Throwing that one quick. Nice play. Gain of 8. Sam Darnold's here playing backup quarterback, I just realized. Oh yeah, we want to win in this series, and that's part of it, but it's not the only part. If winning was the only thing I cared about, you could play on All-Pro against the CPU, win most of your games, the vast majority, and have fun, if winning was the only goal. But I think that it's far from the only goal for franchise players to simply win games. Do I have any plans for Madden 22? Will it be a CPU series or user CPU series? So I'm planning on doing another series like this. Like, I've been doing these series now for 4 Maddens, and it's like my favorite thing to come on and record as the touchdown is given up. Tough play there for Fry. He's kind of a boomer bust player, Dante Fry, but he gets put on highlight reels fairly often. So I'm planning on doing a CPU series. I've enjoyed them so much. The gameplay to me is cleaner when it's CPU. I would like to do a user CPU franchise like my Broncos, but I'm only going to do one if I think that the gameplay is up to my standards, so I can have fun doing it. Because I know how much work it was to make the Broncos work the way it did. And I also know that, you know, on a next-gen, the gameplay is a little bit different. And if it's not dialed in and the CPU user gameplay experience isn't where I like, I'm not going to spend weeks trying to make sliders work, and I'll just do other content. I'm not trying to be a QA tester here. I'm trying to make people, you know, entertained for 40 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever my videos end up being. I don't want to be a QA tester making the game work if I can simply do CPU and get my experience that way. We're going to run the football here with Blue, and I think one thing we're going to try next drive, okay? We're going to play Blue at slot receiver. Get a really good extended look at him there, and Gillisley, power back, is going to play some running back. Am I going to be drafting players in that series or just watch the draft as it plays out? I really think it makes more sense to just watch it play out. That's the part I've been thinking about. Like, I'm okay stepping back and just watching the league unfold at this point. We are just getting destroyed up front. I don't like this. All right, so the Falcons take over. We're just going to sim this into the second half, and then I want our first offensive drive. All right, we're going to, like I said, Blue's going to play some receiver. And, you know, I haven't been, like, thrilled with his play at running back. So it's possible he just becomes, like, more of a receiver than a running back at this point. By the way, I hardly remember signing Markel Mitchell. When did I do that exactly? Because I look at the ratings and I'm like, yeah, I want to see him play. But I don't really remember signing him. At what point did I? We're going to see him play because I think those ratings are better than Gillislee's. They're more complete. So, oh, I got to change third down back now, of course. Wearing swimming trunks today, Kane? Hey, I should. It's been raining for like a month straight. I did not sign up for that when I moved to Texas. Since when can it like be cloudy and rainy for a month straight? I didn't move to Seattle. I haven't seen the sun in like 8 months. Unbelievable. Do I play Madden 21 franchise mode off camera? Nope. No, I don't really play sports games off recording. Sheffield fakes here on second down. He's going to dump this off. Stay in bounds and run him over. It almost never rains in the summer in Seattle. Yeah, I think their wet season is actually like the winter months, right? 3rd and 12 for Sheffield. He gets away this time. Takes off and gets the first down. Floyd Sheffield. He's not really a big fan of sliding. Never played baseball. You can tell sometimes what quarterbacks never played baseball based on their sliding techniques. Inside with Gillislee, and he'll pick up a couple here. Kane brought the rain with him. I mean, I brought snow back in February, or whatever month it was. Again, did not sign up for that. I did not bring my snow shovel to Texas. I had a very nice ergonomic one. Kitchen on the sweep. He is not going to be spinning anybody out with that spin move anytime soon. I am playing on PS5. I got one about 6 months ago, and I still can't believe that they're impossible to get your hands on if you want one. I honestly thought that by like April, you'd just walk into a store and buy one. And now it's like, when are you going to be able to do that even? Sheffield over the middle and incomplete. I think that was Arrington who could not hang on. This is a slow start for the offense today. Will this be uploaded? Yeah, if you'd like to watch it as a video, it will be available. Oh, I didn't even notice we missed the field goal here. But, happens. 1 sec. I'm trying to avoid the bug forcing me to watch the rest of the game. Okay, because I wanted to make another change here. I kind of want to see some Markel Mitchell. We have less info on him. I'm okay with Gillislee getting some of the power snaps. And now let's get Dishman out there. There's a lot of pressure. I want to see him throwing the YOLO balls downfield to Austin Kitchen and Danny Arrington, Antonio Werner. Let's get Blue here. He's already in the slot, so he should be getting plenty of snaps. Just got here. Any exciting plays yet? None. Not even one. Dishman's in the game, so the excitement could start at any moment as he completes the Danny Arrington. Oh, why don't I have... Oh, I do have Cassius Fowler in the game as well. He's wearing 87. I changed around a couple numbers, including his. Dishman. I don't know how he did that, but out of bounds. Dishman at running back, or Watson at running back. I don't think that's the best use of his skills. That Moss wasn't exciting. Well, it happened to Dante Fry, so no. On the outside, no. I'm waiting for some plays. Love your series. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Appreciate that very much. The €5 super chat. I love seeing different currencies come through. Every now and then I get a super chat from a currency that I don't recognize. Fry just got a face mask on top of being mossed earlier in the preseason. Who wants to make some plays here? Last year we saw Chris Carney do some of that. We saw Donald Claiborne at safety, who is out there again. Let's go. Rip down. 92 is Michael Arnett. So how much has he developed in the year where we drafted him extremely raw, had one preseason game where he kind of made an impact? That's given up by Fry for about 9. Can we see Dishman with some quality offensive linemen? I wouldn't mind giving him like a possession in like game 3 or game 2 with the starters. I don't think that's the worst idea ever. It may be Friday, but it's not Fry's day, if you know what I mean. Stuffed. Love it. When should you start tweaking XP sliders for good player development? I'm where you were when you drafted Kerry Borden. So, I think that you can do it right away. But as I've mentioned, I think that it's best to kind of gradually increase it over the first few years of your franchise. As Darnold almost got picked off. Corner looked like the receiver there. I know, a penalty. So offensive line, I think you could do it right away. There's not like a ton of high-rated players there or a ton of high-dev players. But for things like running back and receiver, if you jack up your XP sliders too early, like anybody in the league right now that's like a pretty good, like first or second year back, you know, like a DeAndre Swift or a Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you're going to have their development probably get them too highly rated if you jack up those ratings fast like that. So I think that by default, the sliders are too low. But think about where you want them to be and gradually get there over about 3 seasons. Because once, like, the rookie class right now, once the Justin Jeffersons of the world have played 3-4 years, now their XP requirements go up. And you don't have to worry about them getting too much development anymore. It's not going to be as much of a problem. So, the Falcons are really having a solid preseason game here. We need Elliott Dishman to get this team on the right track. You want to be a future QB2, a starter one day? Let's see you do something. Or I'm just going to get to game 2 because I want to see some entertainment. Just got my laptop in the mail. Let's go. What'd you get a laptop for? What you doing with it? Dishman. This is what we want to see. Taking off across the 40. 19 yards. Let's go. Almost 20. Elliott Dishman spreading out the defense on first down. And Dishman throws underneath. Here we go. Markel Mitchell, first down. He's wearing 22. Big YouTube things. That's awesome. Here is 1st and 10 for Elliott Dishman. Plays it safe. That's not normally his play style. Passing game not playing as well as I hoped they would. Dishman throws a laser, and that's Daniel Blue. He's got a pretty good arm. I like seeing Blue get some opportunities here as a receiver. Might be the easier way to get him some touches. Without power, it's hard to make a big impact at running back in this game. Markel Mitchell on the outside. He's going to pick up 10 yards. Still waiting to see him juke somebody out or something. Kane, do you think Rodgers shows up to mandatory training camp on Tuesday? There are already mandatory camps on Tuesday? You know, honestly, with the Rodgers situation, like, I try to think about what I expect would happen. Do I think it's more likely that he plays or more likely that he doesn't? To me, I feel like it's 50% he plays for Green Bay, 45% he sits out the year, and 5% he's traded. That's like my pie chart of probabilities in my head. Because I don't think Green Bay is willing to trade him. I just don't think that they would let him win this war of attrition. Russ Watson! Oh, man! Couldn't stiff arm the whole defense. Second down and goal. Handoff. Come on, Gillislee. Nope. Third and goal. What do you try this time? Gillislee. That's a touchdown. He never touched the ground. Third try, got it in. There you go. All right. Like, it's not, you know, I could see Aaron Rodgers just saying, hey, I'm not playing this year. Either you trade me or I'm doing nothing. And the Packers like, well, then we're just going to play Jordan Love. This is not how we operate as a franchise. We don't want to set this precedent that you can force your way out. That's the way I look at it. So that's why I think the two greatest possibilities are Rodgers either not playing or returning. Is there something that could get him to return? I do, and I think that's Julio Jones, and I can't think of anything else. If the Packers were to get Julio Jones, I think that Rodgers might show up with a half smile. But at this point, I feel like Rodgers and his personality, like, either he's going to get his way or he's not going to play. He's going to go do Jeopardy or do something else. If the Packers can, you know, see Jordan Love play and say he plays well, that makes trading Rodgers easier. But right now, it's like you have no intel, no real intel on Jordan Love. He's never played in the NFL. So it's a lot more difficult to move on. Even though you drafted him, you liked him, you've seen him in practice for a year. First down for Sam Darnold. What's he going to do this season? Throw that one almost out the back of the end zone. Dante Fry able to make a play on it. Slant caught off to the races. Touchdown, Falcons. Yeah, we're not playing well in this first game at all. I'm going to watch one more drive, and if they don't entertain me, I'm going to go to game 2. Elliott Dishman is all of a sudden afraid. Don't throw it away. Make something happen. If he throws a pick six, I'll keep watching. If we just have a boring 3 and out, I'm more likely to move on. Blue makes the catch, and he's got first down yardage again. Couple nice plays out of him in the slot. Julio to Green Bay would be amazing. I disagree. As a Minnesota Viking fan, I do not agree whatsoever. First and 10, dumped off. I've already said, like, as a football fan, where would I like to see Julio Jones go? Where do I think would be the most entertaining? Seattle. I'd love to see him with Russ, Metcalf, Lockett. That would be fun. Dishman overthrows. Incomplete. Yeah, the Packers, like, as Fowler makes a catch, the Packers haven't exactly managed their cap well enough to make a move like a Julio trade easy. They'd have to move around a lot of money. And they just, like, did something with, like, Dean Lowry's contract. They brought back Kevin King. Like, there are some things they've done where it's like, why are you operating like you have unlimited money? Like, this is valuable cap space you're giving to players that you probably shouldn't. And here's my whole stance with why I think Rodgers thinks the way he does about the current management of Green Bay. When you look at every other quarterback, as Arrington drops his second pass of the day, when you look at all the other quarterbacks and what their teams have done for them, adding playmakers and constantly like making aggressive moves to try to get them to the Super Bowl, I do not believe the Packers have done the same at the level of other teams. I think they made a lot of good moves when they addressed the defense a couple years ago. Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith. They did a really good job of making sure the defense wasn't like the reason they'd lose. But the way I'd say it is the Packers did an amazing job of getting guys like David Bakhtiari and building up the offensive line, finding Aaron Jones in the draft, finding guys like Robert Tonyan. But it's like, then you draft Jordan Love, trade up to draft Jordan Love, then you draft A.J. Dillon, who is not going to do anything as far as your team expectation. The way I'd describe it, when the Falcons were up 28-3 and let their foot off the gas against New England, that's the Packers' style of management. They built a really good team, but at a point they just got really content, and then they're like, yeah, we'll take a big power back in the second round when there's a million receivers available. We're going to take Eric Stokes in the first round, and he might not play right away. Did the Bucks build like that for Tom Brady? No, they brought in his best friend Gronk. They brought in Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown wouldn't have been a Buccaneer without Tom Brady last year. What else did they do? They let Tom Brady in on knowing they were going to be drafting a quarterback. Yesterday, Bruce Arians talking about how they had Tom Brady scouting receivers, making him part of the process. Has Aaron Rodgers ever been treated like Tom Brady by the Packers? Never. The Packers said, hey, you have Devontae Adams, you have David Bakhtiari, you have Aaron Jones. We're going to do things our way, and we're not going to address some of these other things with the aggressiveness that maybe you would like or some other teams would do. Like, think about how deep that Tampa offense is. They got 3 tight ends who are probably top 20 tight ends in the NFL. 3 guys. At one of the weakest position groups in the NFL, the Buccaneers have around 10 to 15% of the league's quality starters at a position. Yep, they let Corey Linsley go as well. And it's like, you know, did you have to sign Kevin King? Because, like, it's not like Linsley's making $22 million this year to play center. You could have kept one of the best centers in the league. The Packers just have their way of doing things, and I don't think they're a very flexible franchise. I think that, you know, they're really good at a lot of things. They've done a really good job, I think, over the years of finding offensive linemen and consistently having a pretty good offensive line. I think that they've done a really good job defensively with drafting guys like Jair Alexander and making the right free agent moves finally when they went and got Zadarius and Preston Smith. But I don't know that there's a team in the NFL that has just burned more early picks than the Packers in some of these recent drafts. Like over the past decade plus. They're not a team that tries to win the offseason. They have their own way of drafting. And sometimes it works out, and other times it's like the most suboptimal game theory strategy, if you were to put it into that kind of a lens. Like, how can we beat all these other teams, and what's the edge? No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to draft player A because he's high on our board. Nice job, Hairston. So that's kind of my take on the Packers. Oh, come on. I think Green Bay's process has made them a very consistent top 8, top 6 team in the NFL. But Rodgers wants to be number 1, and he wants the Packers to make decisions like they're trying to be number 1. You can't look at teams in a vacuum and just say, hey, this team added a few good players. Compare them to the rest of the NFL and what they're doing or where they are. Whoa, who brought that down? Was that not caught? I swear that was a touchdown. I thought that was a touchdown. That one's caught by Arrington. It's going to count. Okay. No, I don't think the Packers would fit the Moneyball type of construction very well. The Packers have been doing things their way for a long time, and some of it works. Like, some of the things they do well, I think have worked for a long time. Like, I actually think they're really good at identifying receivers. But I think that they almost overvalue their process to the point where they're like, well, why do we got to take a first-round guy? We found all these other guys over the years. You know, they don't draft the big, fast guys. You notice that? Every receiver they draft is like average athlete, average size, but just a good football player. Randall Cobb, Greg Jennings, Devontae Adams are not the biggest or fastest guys. They were not first-round picks either. Where was Cobb drafted? I want to say he was a day 2 pick. Yeah, second-round pick. The Packers believe in their ability to develop receivers, so they never draft the highly touted ones. The Packers have really been drafting like the same receiver, I feel, for like 20 years. Donald Driver, yep, that's another example. He was excellent. One of the best, receivers in Packer history. Again, not a huge guy, not the fastest guy, but he was super reliable for a long time, too. And you know what? Amari Rodgers fits exactly the type of receiver Green Bay drafts, and they drafted him. I think that was a really good pick. If there's ever a 6'4" guy that runs a 4.4, you can pretty much guarantee the Packers aren't selecting him. Because that guy's going to go in the top 15 or the top 20, and Green Bay's not going to trade up for him. And I forget how they got Jordy Nelson, because to me, his size, and I think he had a little more speed than some of the other receivers, like, he was where I think they actually went a little bit different at drafting receiver. And he was a second-round pick, an early second-round pick. I don't think the Packers have drafted too many, like, big, tall receivers like him over the years. And notice, too, a few years ago when they wanted to address receiver and they took 3 guys on day 3. They took, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Equanimous St. Brown, and Jamon Moore. They took 3 receivers in a row, just banking on their process. MVS isn't their typical receiver either, because he's just downfield. He's a Chiefs type of receiver. Like, the Chiefs would probably, like, swap McCole Hardman for him. think MVS is a bad player. I think that he's a high variance player that drops the ball a lot, but he also catches a lot of them. He had a lot of yards last year, a lot of big plays for the Packers. That's the thing, though. If you're going to be somebody that has negative plays, if you throw interceptions, if you drop the ball, do you make up for it? Because if you're just like an average receiver with drop problems, that's an issue. But if you're Julio Jones dropping the ball, like, we all know Julio, if he drops, you know, a few balls every now and then, that's okay, because he's also going to catch the 60-yard touchdown. He's also going to make a great catch that takes him down to the 1, because he doesn't really score touchdowns a ton all the time, or score in the red zone as much as you'd like to see. Can you make up for it? I think last year MVS did. I thought he had a really good season. I do think Amari Rodgers was a really good pick, though. I wasn't thrilled when he went there. O-line mentorship. Elton Jenkins is impressed with Gordon Ramsay. He made the whole offensive line room his famous risotto. If you've ever watched Kitchen Nightmares, I don't know how many times I've seen people make that. Let's get to game 2. That one wasn't all that exciting, honestly. I appreciate our front office holding firm and not immediately trading Julio for peanuts just because we need cap space. Yeah, I mean, you're the Falcons, and whether you have Julio Jones or not, you're not likely to be one of the best teams this year. So you don't have to, like... Yeah, you're in cap problems, but it's not like the cap issues are going to make the difference. Like, the team is flawed. That's why they have a new coaching staff and picked 4th overall. They're a flawed team. They have not been able to develop a defense. And the offense that got them to a Super Bowl hasn't gotten really better. Julio's gotten older. Matt Ryan's older. They have Calvin Ridley now, and he's awesome. And now they got Kyle Pitts. You know, that's going to be exciting. But the Falcons are a flawed team. They should wait as long as it takes to get a good return. I could see them getting a first for Julio, and I'm not an expert when it comes to like the contracts and everything, but I think it would be more possible if they ate some of the salary, then maybe they can get a first round pick from like a good team. Like, if you're telling me they can't get, you know, the 30th overall pick, I'm like, well, why not? Let's watch some of the starters here. See, we can't just blanket first round pick all the time. There is a huge difference in a top 5, a top 10. Like, the value between like the 7th pick and the 27th pick is huge. And I would say Julio is worth a first round pick to a good team. He's not worth a first round pick to a bad team. Like, the Jaguars should not give up a first-round pick for Julio Jones. The Seahawks might as well, though. Do I play games other than sports? Yes. I go through some stretches where I'm into different games at different times. Lately, I've been playing a lot more on my Switch when I'm not recording, and I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise. I've also been playing Pokemon Snap, and in a few weeks, I'll be playing the new Mario Golf game. Very excited about that. And I think next week is the new Ratchet and Clank game. That's one of my favorite series of all time. So, yeah, I don't always get to play games super consistently off recording. Don't always find the time. But there are definitely games that I get excited for and make an effort to play. Mario Golf is sports, though. Yeah, I said I didn't play a lot of sports games off recording. Mario Golf is one I will play. I don't play Madden, though, or The Show, or any of that other stuff off recording. However, I did on Switch. You'll be like, why'd you do this? I picked up NBA 2K21 on Switch, knowing it wasn't going to be, like, phenomenal. Because I'm like, oh, if I just go into my career, it's like an on-the-go, whenever I want to play, like, pocket RPG, if I just want to get into my career and screw around a little bit. Not play a franchise or anything, but just, you know, you could sit there and play insert RPG here. You know, I could play one of the old Final Fantasies or something, a game that interests me. Or I could just play, like, my career and screw around in a basketball game. I knew it wouldn't be great. But, I've played a little bit of the My Career on there, just for fun. I'm horrible at it. Man. Becton gives up the sack to Watt, and we are just not getting anything going. Oh, the Seahawks don't have a first-round pick this year? Yeah, I couldn't remember how many picks they had given up for Jamal Adams. It feels like it's been a lot. Jeez. Why can't any of our... Like, our offense just can't make plays. Oh, and I like the PGA game. I really enjoy that. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. Blackjack's always telling me I gotta play the original, and I want to play the remake sometime because it looked awesome. But I never really got into Final Fantasy or RPGs until I was a little bit older. Like, legitimately, I think the first not Pokemon RPG I can remember playing and enjoying was like Fallout 3. And that's not that old of a game. So I got into RPGs super late and missed the entire like PS2 era, you know. The first Final Fantasy game I played was Final Fantasy X-2. And that's one that I always heard was like everybody's least favorite Final Fantasy. And I checked it out and I'm like, hey, this is pretty fun. Do I like Minecraft? Yeah. I have played a fair amount of Minecraft over the years, but I wish there was more game to it. Like, it's great that there's like all the freedom, it's a huge sandbox and whatnot, but I think I'd enjoy it more, and maybe there's mods that do this, but I've always played like the console version. It just felt like there was no game. Like, I could make this amazing like castle and all these rooms and spend hours doing it, but to what end? Like, I don't really have a need to. The zombies aren't that threatening. Like, I wish there was a bit more game to it to incentivize me to make, you know, spend a few hours building, gathering materials. I love something like that. Have I played any Assassin's Creed games? Yeah, my first one, another series I got into late, was Black Flag, and I loved that game. I'm like, holy cow, why is there no other, like, big pirate type of game out there? Loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I haven't, like, played a bunch of them. I liked Assassin's Creed Unity. I believe that was the one, was that the one that was in Paris? I enjoyed that world a lot in Unity. And Odyssey was really fun, but I just didn't get far enough into it. I'd like to play Valhalla, but it's like such a huge time commitment for an Assassin's Creed game. And I know that like if I just stay patient, I'll get it for like $15 when I want to play it. Try some Stardew Valley. I have many hours played of Stardew Valley. I like that game a lot. Never played Subnautica. I believe that game just came to Switch. So you're saying you haven't killed the Ender Dragon? I might have once. But I kind of wanted more stuff to do on, like, the main world, like... Imagine if there were, like, 200 zombies trying to get into your castle, and you had to, like, set up, you know, a moat and some traps and stuff like that. Like, if I were defending, like, from 200 zombies, a castle I put, like, 30 hours or more into making, like, that's the kind of game I want to play. Dark Souls, I've watched some of it over the years, but I'm not really big into those kind of games. And I think I'd be very frustrated by it. I love to focus more on the gameplay, but they're playing like trash today. Yeah, like OG Fortnite. Have I heard of Minecraft Dungeons? I've heard of it. I don't know much about it. Rosemond. Underneath, again, settling. Now, these front fours are just taking away anything we want to actually do. So you want to battle in, like, a village raid. Yeah. I think that would be sweet. Again, like 200 zombies, and there's like 5 people defending them. Jedi Fallen Order. I'm not really huge into Star Wars. Never got into it. Was never really introduced to it. I liked Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PlayStation 2. Very good game. If what I just described in Minecraft exists somewhere, just tell me where it is. Where can I spend hours gathering materials to build my own, like, castle, fortress, and then I have to defend it from an actual, like, tough threat, and if I lose, there are consequences. I want a game that makes me feel something. I want to put in, like, 30 hours building something and having, like, the risk that something is going to completely destroy it. No, that's not cool. I've played how many hours of this series? Hundreds of hours, probably, with the Texans. I haven't even won a playoff game. Like, I'm not afraid of a little challenge. 7 days to die. 3 of you just said that in a row. Well, I'm going to have to write that down. That's called Jenga Cane. Okay. I have Jenga. I'm well aware of what Jenga is. There's not much of a 3-hour, you know, build-up, but there's a game with some risk, definitely. So I need to write down the game 7 Days to Die. I know I've heard of that game before, but I'm not even sure I've watched gameplay. Justin Johnson in the backfield. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I was never really into Dragon Ball Z. I remember watching it on occasion. From what I've seen, the games are actually pretty cool, but I'm not, like, super into it. Kane just blabbering as the Texans just crumble. That's honestly where we're at right now. Like, I'm talking about random games and, like, games I want to play that I only have an idea of in my head because this team is just not doing anything. Come on, do something. Let's give Dishman a drive here. Oh, I love Pokemon. I've always loved Pokemon. That's something I actually did get into as a kid. So Dishman's going to get a chance here with the ones. A nice opportunity for him. Can he withstand the pressure of this Saints pass rush? Am I going to play the Diamond and Pearl remakes? Definitely. Gen 4. As the pass is on target for Ingram. Nice job. Gen 4 is the generation I missed. That's the one I did not really play, like, along with the series. I think I've played part of Diamond or something, because I have it. There we go, Ingram. Much better. But that's the generation that I kind of missed of Pokemon, so I'm really excited for the remakes. Go-to starter type, water, but there are a few fire types that I really like. Like, my favorite Pokemon is Blaziken. Obviously, that's down the fire path. I've never really liked the grass starters until Decidueye. I've always thought like Venusaur was cool, but I always thought Blastoise was cooler. I liked, you know, Feraligatr a lot in Gen 2, Blaziken Gen 3, Gen 4, I don't think I really have one. Probably Torterra, but it's like, is that Venusaur's cousin? Oh no. Oh no. See, Blaziken and that, you know, line with Torchic came before Chimchar, like also fighting fire type. So I never really liked Infernape as much. I was always like, oh, it's like Blaziken but worse. They've done a pretty good job with the starters, though, over the years, I think. Would you ever play a different sports game like cricket or tennis? Like, I would get into some other stuff. I'd probably want to do some other sports before I got to those. Like, PGA or NHL, FIFA would be more interesting to me. Patterson eventually going down. Carr gets the sack. I remember watching a YouTube video on how cricket is played, and I'd have to watch it again probably twice to understand the rules again. Ooh, almost. I am somewhat interested in tennis, but I like playing Mario Tennis more than I think I'd want to play like a sim tennis game. I'm more interested in playing real tennis than video game tennis. There we go. Pressure's there. Incomplete. Competitively, I actually think Infernape is better unless you have Speed Boost Blaziken. Yeah, I don't know much about the competitive side. I think it's kind of interesting, but it goes deeper than my... I think it's more so I don't put the time into knowing everything, like the different moves that create the move sets are where I kind of get lost, because I'm like, oh, I never use these moves when I'm playing my regular run to the Elite Four. Because I always thought it was hard to find things to really do after you beat like the Elite Four, and competitive is obviously like the next step, but never got super into it. Dishman almost picked again. I really like doubles. I think doubles in Pokemon is one of my favorite things, and I think they went away from it a little bit in some of the games because it was like so much to render on screen and the game like couldn't handle it as much, but double battles I thought were really refreshing when they introduced those. Yeah, I've tried doing some Nuzlocke before, and I've actually found something that I enjoy even more. Since we're talking about Pokemon on this Madden stream. So, the Nuzlocke are fun if you like, you know, that risk of potentially losing a Pokemon for your run. But, when I was thinking about it, and like how to make the game more challenging, like most of the time when you battle trainers, whether it's out in the wild or at a gym, they only have like a few Pokemon. And so it's really easy when you're at a high level and you have 6 to just roll through the game. So the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, me having 6 Pokemon should be my advantage, the amount. I should be playing the game from more of an under-leveled standpoint. And so that's what I've done on a lot of my, like, whenever I've gotten into it recently, is once my Pokemon are like at the level of the trainers I'm battling, stop using them. And instead I rotate in other Pokemon. So by the end of the game, maybe it took me longer to get there, but I have like a bunch of different options to pick from who I actually want to chase the Elite Four with. But I thought that evened the playing field. Dylan, please don't spam. Like, the CPU's advantage is going to be they're higher level than me. My advantage is going to be I'm battling with 6. Yeah, Black 2 and White 2, that generation, they aim for a bit more difficulty, and it's a little bit, it's very punishing in the beginning. I tried a Nuzlocke on one of them a few times, and I had very quick, you know, dead runs because I underestimated the difficulty, even in the first few routes. Some of the trainer battles were hard to be ready for if you had never played the game. Come on! We've lost Hill House and now Carr? Jeez. We're playing like garbage, and now we've lost best 2 pass rushers. Excadrill, doesn't he have like some one-hit moves or something? Okay, not a serious injury there for Jabari Carr, thankfully, but we already know that Hill House is probably going to be somewhat serious. They did have a hard mode, and I wish they would do that now. Like, I also think Pokemon would benefit from, like, a New Game Plus, where it's like, once you play the game, you can, like, roll through all the gym battles and everything again, and all the routes get, like, boosted levels. I remember when I first played Ratchet and Clank, and they had, like, their own version of New Game Plus, where every weapon that you had just spent the first run leveling up, you now had to rebuy, and it would level up all over again and have some changes. Man, the bug happened. And it offered a lot of replayability. Yeah, so we got a couple injuries here that are going to make an impact. Why don't we get to the second half? Starters aren't really doing a lot, so let's get back to the backups here. I wish these games were more entertaining right now. Honestly, it's been a huge dud. But maybe somebody can change that. I don't know who, I don't care who. But I would like someone to break out, do something fun. Let's get Michael Arnett some more snaps. Jarek Duvall. Obviously, get any starting tackles as far away from the field as possible. More Montrell Russell. Let's have him play middle linebacker this time. Oh. I want to see Jaden O'Neal here. And then this can pretty much stay the same. Perkins, no, we know you. Don't care who returns. This is why I wish you could set like a real second depth chart that would just stay there. Yeah, we must have like simmed a touchdown or something. There was a sim issue earlier. Russell's going to play some coverage here. It probably won't go that well for him, but he needs the experience. All right, I want to see something fun here. Over the middle to Austin Kitchen. That is much better. What would I say in a press conference about this game? I would walk up to the podium with a trash can in my hand, and I'd apologize to the press and say, I'm sorry. That performance has made me severely ill. And I might vomit at any moment. Sheffield to throw on third down. Or not, he's sacked again. It's almost like I have to play Becton and good just to like get something to evaluate here. How's the punt? That seemed decent. Who is the face of the Vikings right now? If I had to pick only one? The face of the team? I feel like from the league standpoint, if you were just like a general NFL fan, you'd probably think it's like Justin Jefferson. If you're a Viking fan, probably Harrison Smith or Dalvin? I don't know. Eric Kendricks? I love Eric Kendricks. I do think this could be the worst preseason out of any of my series. We are playing just disgustingly bad. How many games am I watching? I'm planning on doing this until around 4 o'clock. So however many we get to. And there might be one more after this just because I've been moving by pretty quickly. The preseason's kind of a dud today. Eric Kendricks is who I think, as a non-Viking fan, since he's in the top linebacker conversation. Yeah, that's very fair. Harrison Smith has been in that top safety conversation, but I think he took a little step back last year, which is to be expected when literally all the corners playing in front of you have never played before. There's nothing worse being a safety than having to be a safety behind rookies that are just playing their first games ever with no preseason. That's complete inside the 10. Saints make it goal to go. Seven yards out to keep it on the ground, and that's a good stop. Spruce to the 3. Spruce is the kind of running back that I like. Looking to trading for him. Don't get me started. Running this inside and brought down. Jaden O'Neal wears 41. He makes the play. Looking for a goal line stand, and we get it from Michael Arnett. An unblocked play, not the best like evaluation play, but hey, it was a gift and he took advantage of it. Not even going for a form tackle. Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year predictions for next year. For offense, the players that stand out to me, I mean, I have to think Trevor Lawrence. But other guys that I think are interesting would be obviously Kyle Pitts. I think Jamar Chase. Potentially Devontae Smith. I just don't know about that offense overall. But I also think that if you wanted like a sleeper for Rookie of the Year, somebody that's not talked about as much but has a path to getting there, how about Trevor Lawrence's teammate, Travis Etienne? I legitimately think that there's a chance he could become Rookie of the Year. I don't think it's a better chance than Lawrence. I think that he's just like, if I had to pick my top 10 players, he's in the top 10. Because I could see him being a big play threat right away, catching a ton of passes, and putting up a ton of yards. Immediately becoming like the next big running back. Like, I think there's a path to ETN having, like, 750 rushing yards, 750 receiving yards, and double-digit touchdowns. ETN ain't a backup. ETN is not a backup. When he's the best preseason running back, you'll see. Preseason rookie running back. Best rookie running back. I don't like the situation that Najee Harris is getting into in Pittsburgh. I think the offense is flawed right now. As Kitchen makes the catch. I like Harris a lot as a player, but the Pittsburgh offense, I'm not excited about it. I like a lot of the individual players, but I don't like how it all fits together with Ben and the offensive line. I think they're a year away, maybe 2 if this is Ben's last year, from having a really like top 5 offense. I think they can get there. What about James Robinson? Yeah, he's going to be really good for like 10 carries a game, I think. I like James Robinson as a player, but ETN, even if ETN doesn't get more touches, like, he's going to play a more important role. He's going to become the pass-catching back. He's going to be the one that rips off big plays. Like, that's going to be ETN's backfield, really. Like how Kamara, you'd say he's the Saints running back, you know, top running back, but he only carries the ball 12 times a game. Latavius Murray gets a lot of carries, too. Mark Ingram before him. ETN's not going to be a 25 touch a game guy, but I think he's going to be like 10 runs and 5 catches. There you go. Just find a way forward, Gillislee. I believe the Jaguars took ETN as high as they did, as Mitchell takes it down to the 5. I think it's because running back was kind of thin this year, and if you wanted a player like ETN, you had to take ETN. I think he was the only running back that offered his level of explosiveness, catching ability. I think that it was either ETN or bust. I'm not saying it was the right pick. I'm saying it was the pick I wanted them to make. I made it in my mock draft video. I said I wanted them to take ETN. And, you know, in an Urban Meyer offense, whatever that looks like at the NFL level, I am sure that there's a reason they took ETN in the first round, and we're going to find out very quickly. And I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to raise the floor and ceiling of that offense so much that ETN will be able to thrive in a better environment there. Yeah, North Carolina had some good running backs too. I was interested in both of them, and I do like where Javonte Williams ended up going to Denver. He was the 35th pick. But I think that, you know, Williams' skill set compared to like ETN's is very different. I think Williams is more of a prototypical 3-down back. ETN is like big play running back that can catch the football and hit home runs. Like, to me, ETN is more, reminds me more of guys like Jamal Charles or Dalvin Cook. I think that the play style for ETN and Cook is actually very similar. I don't think ETN has the same speed as Charles, but in terms of just play style, I like that comparison there. Pressure's there. Who's going to get it? They do, of course. Man. College coaches in the NFL get way overwhelmed because it's a different game. Yeah, that's always a very difficult projection. Like, a good college coach doesn't necessarily make a good NFL coach. The transition's tough. You're dealing with adults, you know, grown adults, compared to recruiting in, you know, high schoolers. So those environments are very different. And those adults we're talking about, you know, some of them are paid extremely well. It's a very different dynamic. On top of that, the game's different. College game to the NFL game is different, so philosophies don't translate one-to-one. And I think also the general manager, head coach dynamic. Like, head coaches in college have so much control over things. It's their program. In the NFL, like, yeah, you're the coach and you are, you know, like the highest ranking member of the team, basically, that the fans will see. But general manager's got responsibilities, and there's a whole lot more going into it. Pete Carroll also had players being paid very well at USC. All I know is that Reggie Bush won the Heisman. I don't care. There goes Sheffield, sliding down at the 20-yard line. Sheffield's fun. He's a really fun quarterback to have as a backup. I like him. We run this one inside for a couple more. Some college coaches are basically the highest ranking person of their state. Yeah, with some of the big programs out there, like, it's a bigger deal to be the head coach at the University of Texas than it is to be head coach of the Cowboys. Don't think Mike McCarthy has the best football job in the state, you know. If you want to leave, like, if your goal is to build a legacy as far as like a football reputation, you do it at the college level, I think, as a coach. Sheffield? No! I saw Blue was going to be, I think, on a drag. I thought he was going to get the ball. Do I like the Lions? I'm not a Lions fan. I don't think they're going to be great this year, but I do think that they've tackled the offseason the right way. That's off the mark from Sheffield. He has missed a couple here in the preseason. I honestly like what the Lions did a lot this year, and obviously, I mean, Penei Sewell falling into their lap is, like, probably not what they planned on happening. It was probably a possibility they planned for, but it sure made the rest of their draft easy, being able to draft a franchise tackle right away. And they're very honest about the state of the roster, knowing that they're not going to be competing likely this year, so why take an early receiver or some of these other positions that won't make as much of a difference for a terrible team? So building up the offensive line, the defensive line, focusing just on the team culture aspect, getting some key veterans in there that have kind of been forgotten. I mean, like Tyrell Williams, very good years with the Chargers, had injury issues with the Raiders, so that didn't work out. Nice guy for a team like that to take a chance on, because if he returns to form, well, then you got him. Nobody else wanted him. Rashad Perriman, I mean, he had a pretty good year a couple years back with the Bucks. So the Lions, I think, are an awesome rebuild team this year in Madden, and I think that they're building the foundation with their offensive and defensive lines, and if you were to take them in a franchise, you got so much room to add playmakers, a new quarterback, corners, whatever you want to do there. They got a couple young guys, too, that are pretty interesting. If you like DeAndre Swift, TJ Hawkinson, Jeff Okudah. Who is even the Lions' first receiver? It would probably be Rashad Perriman. Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, gone. I don't think Amendola is signed right now. Is Amendola on a team? So I'm going to sit here all summer wondering if, like, in best ball and other fantasy environments, do I think Tyrell Williams and Jared Goff can have a big year? Do I like Tyrell the Gazelle Williams to bounce back? I want him to, but do I think it'll happen? Nice catch by Arrington. He caught a couple gimmies. Or he dropped a couple gimmies, and then he caught the tough ones. Don't play Ultimate Team. Nope. If I had to play a card collecting mode, I would play Diamond Dynasty. I think it's easily the best. Gillisley to the 2. Timeout. Well, this is a tie game. It's a tie game. Let's go. We might actually steal one. Do you think that the trade for Goff was a good trade? I do, just because I think it was time to move on. They've been trying to build around Matt Stafford for like 13 years. Let's move on here. Maybe it's been 12. But they got Goff plus draft equity, which is most important. Goff is good enough to where if you're playing some other young receivers and other young players, at least like he has some experience. And the play for those receivers as they get their first experience, it's at least going to be like able to evaluate. It's not like just some random quarterback that you just have as a stopgap. Like, Goff for that team in their situation is a really good fit. And it's a chance for Goff to resurrect his career a bit. I'm not a Jared Goff fan, but I do like the spot at least for him to reset his career. Favorite Vikings coach ever? Denny Green. I mean, I only got to see him be the Vikings coach for a short while, but obviously I know I only started watching football in 2001, so I missed a few of the years prior where the Vikings were pretty good. I think Zimmer is up there, but I think the past few years have showed some of the faults with this current era of the Vikings, and I like Zimmer, but I think the era might not be as good as I once thought it was. They've just had no consistency. They have not made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. And every year they seem to have like 3 games they just like, it looks like they didn't even practice for. Got the boost there for Gordon Ramsay. Love that. So let's check the injury report here. It could be worse. A knee cartilage tear for Cordell Hillhouse. So he's going to miss the first few weeks, which will hurt, but we have Justin Johnson there for a reason. He'll miss like the first 3 games. So now we get New England. Montrell Russell, Cassius Fowler, Danny Arrington. Somebody brought up, it is a good point. You know, Rashad Walker should get some time here. I mean, you might take out Arrington. I'm trying to give him a little boost there, a little extra. So I'm going to give him the preseason and then maybe a little bit more for Walker. We got to see a couple good plays from him, though. He set up the game-winning field goal. Got us pretty close. Oh, yeah. Mike Zimmer had some very interesting thoughts on Bobby Petrino leaving the Falcons back in the 2000s sometime. And then the Vikings drafted a Bobby Petrino quarterback. Didn't he coach Teddy? If Walker is starting, does he really need the extra experience? It's a fair question, but I would just say yes, because he's only like a 74 overall, and I want to expedite that development a little bit. Yeah, that receiver does have hidden dev. He does. So he's another player that we should get a look at here in this game. Game 3 is obviously mostly about the starters. And the starters haven't been very good. So, we'll see. Picked off by Denzel Ward. Let's see some of the offense in action here. We'll watch one drive with the starting offense. I will give you $100 if you win this game. The way we've played, the money seems safe. We did get that win at the end of the last one, but I don't know. I still don't feel great about the preseason right now. Dre Tatum, Defensive Player of the Year. Ooh, I like it. Downfield and hauled in by Amari Jones. What's this? We're actually converting first downs on back-to-back plays. Who is this team? Another catch, this time at the sticks for Devin Macklin. That already has Rosemond in the zone. Doesn't take much. 7 yards out. Keep it in the air. Where you going with it? Touchdown, Gordon Norwood. It's like we suddenly just like hit the switch. The play good football switch. That was easy. I think we're going to get through all the preseason today. I'm definitely not going to split this up into another stream. I want to get the football back, and I want to make a couple changes on offense just to see a few things. So, I'm still wanting to see more of, like, Daniel Blue play some receiver, and maybe some reps with the starters will be good for him. Let's get Gillisley a few more. Let's get... I'll just put Blue in the slot. I'll have Austin Kitchen play for... No, I want to see Arrington. I really want to get Arrington some reps here. Along with Cassius Fowler. And then Blue in the slot. I think you went from a Dirk Cutter offense to a Kyle Shanahan that drive. Sure worked like it. All right, let's see it again. Open and caught by Amari Jones. Okay, that's great. I love Amari Jones, but we have some other players that need to get some opportunities. Please. We're going to run this straight ahead, and Gillisley gets a couple. When Rosemond's decisive, he is an elite quarterback. And that's what I'm looking for in my quarterbacks in these CPU series. Play with confidence, whether you're right or wrong. Because if you're good enough, I think you'll eventually have enough plays that go right. Make up for the mistakes. So Amari's just feasting on this secondary. 4 for 71. Another one to Gillisley. Not much there. I might give Markel Mitchell a drive with the starters as well. Trying to go outside and perfectly defended. Rosemond still in the zone. Let's see what he does on 3rd down and 7. Amari Jones, bottom of the screen. Where does he go with the football? Rosemond over the middle and through the hands of Jones. Not looking the way of the other receivers. Yeah, the QB throwaway I think is a bit overdone. I'd like to see them try to escape pressure a little bit better, but we all know that like the escape pressure AI hasn't been phenomenal either. Better than where it's been. Like, remember all the other series I've done where a CPU quarterback gets pressured and they run right into the right end, the left end. That's like the NCAA 14 specialty, because they always scramble at the same angle, the same way. We'll check out some of the defense here. Oh, almost got to him. It's a gain of around 6. Play fake for Nate Wheeler. He'll throw it outside at the marker. Looks like a first down to me. I wish Lance Adams existed with current receiver mechanics in Madden. I've been thinking that for 5 years. I had Lance Adams in the wrong game. As a prospect, he is a carbon copy of Randy Moss. Like, he was literally Moss. 6'4", 220 pounds with elite speed. Pretty much catch anything. but there was no way for competitive one-on-ones to go the way of the receiver in those other Maddens. Hillhouse's injury was a knee injury. He's out 6 weeks, which is 3 regular season weeks. How are the NBA playoffs going? I've not watched a lot. Like, I'm sitting over here watching, like, the Dodgers and not even the Dodgers sometimes. I'll be watching the late game, like Oakland and the Mariners, and it's like, oh, check Twitter, and like everybody's talking about, you know, what Devin Booker's doing tonight or something. Like, I'm probably not watching the most entertaining thing right now, but I'm playing fantasy baseball, so that's what I'm watching. I guess I never, you know, the Suns are one of those teams I was just like, they're never going to actually be good, right? But they got a squad. I did catch some of that, the Lillard game the other night. But then I also caught the part where they had like 2 bad turnovers and lost the game. Play fake. Roseman got it there. Cassius Fowler with the speed. First time they connect. A very positive play. Roseman in trouble, and this time just plays it safe. That's okay. Uh-oh. Randy Wallace. Hurt. I don't have Ramsey as the backup center right now. I think it's Pittman. Firing downfield into the end zone for Amari Jones, and that is a Houston touchdown. Amari looks ready. Strained tricep. That's not a serious injury. I think that's an end-of-game injury. Okay. You guys already recommended me a game to check out earlier. 7 Days to Die. Yeah, I've definitely seen this. This game came out years ago. Huh. The survival horde crafting game. They're speaking my language. I want to get more into watching PGA. You have like any resources, whatever you recommend to like, I don't know, to maybe understand it better, because there's a lot of stuff that just goes over my head as I'm watching some of the coverage. Like, I don't know, I need like an idea. I'm trying to even put it into words as Fowler gets the first down. I think I get lost most, just like they're always jumping around from golfer to golfer and hole to hole, and I was, you know, like I want to understand the course a bit better, or I don't really know much about golf at all. I have played a lot of Hot Shots golf. I've played a little bit of, like Tiger Woods and some other PGA games. I think another hard part is just like the tee times all being different, and then like different channels carrying coverage at certain points. It's like I just kind of want to watch a few guys, and the coverage is really confusing to me. So we've gotten some good plays so far to Cassius Fowler. And now Roseman throws it to Blue, who takes off inside the 30-yard line. I'm watching this stream on my Switch, but chatting with my phone. Now that is a setup that I don't think many are using right now. I didn't even know Twitch was on the Switch. Who is 87? That's Cassius Fowler, our first-round tight end. I can totally see Kane playing golf in swim trunks. I mean, that would be probably preferred attire, right? Swim trunks and like a Hawaiian button-up. Isn't that pretty good golf attire? I'll tell you one thing, I'm not wearing pants for 3 hours. Like an Andy Reid button-up and like some swim trunks. That's like what I would golf in. Tough third down upcoming. Well, I've played some mini golf before. Moose Mountain, Mall of America. I'm sure some of you have played that course before. We're actually winning. Picked off by Jadarius Oliver. All right. So at least we're putting that terrible start behind us. The first like 6 quarters were just so boring. Oh yeah, I wanted to get Markel Mitchell in the backfield. I know context is wrong, but I'm not wearing pants for 3 hours is a great quote. Just an attitude I live by is all. Let's give Markel Mitchell some good opportunity, though. And Amari's caught enough for one day. Where's Kitchen? Kitchen, Arrington, and Daniel Blue with Fowler. So let's see what they can do with Roseman. Run the ball to nowhere in particular. Kane, I think a lot of the offense's struggles is from long developing plays. There were a lot of throwaways after sitting in the pocket for 4 or so seconds. You need more quick throws on 1st and 2nd. I do agree, and I have made some changes to take some of them out. Like, I'm trying to have a good blend of some long developing plays, some, you know, obviously quicker ones, and finding plays that I think set up well for yards after the catch. And, you know, we had some good success with that for part of last year. I just probably have to do a bit more of it. A bit more time finding the plays and then getting the playbook a bit more efficient. Deep ball caught! Arrington at the 10. Love it. And now Roseman. Oh, no. Oh, come on. You got to make the tackle, though. If you tackle him, you make the team. Come on. Nope. If anybody had like a DK Metcalf like run down there, I would have, you know, you automatically make the team. Markel Mitchell turning up, getting 9. You're surprised I'm not turning into a villain and having long hair and wearing a Packer jersey? You're surprised I'm not turning into AJ Hawk? That guy was fast. We might have to do a little more research on him. Just get a little information. Because, yeah, he was moving pretty good. But we're also with the starters right now, so it's not like he's probably going to be like a 71 overall you could just trade for or something. Maybe. So that pick 6. I'll just go to the stats and find it. All right, defensive touchdowns. I want to say that was Middleton. Javier Middleton. 96-yard return. What can you tell me about him? He's a 75 with 90 speed, 91 acceleration, 73 awareness. I thought it was 76 ball carrier vision. Read the wrong one. What's his coverage? Yeah. If he were cut, like, would I sign him? Probably. Javier Middleton. Oh, that could be it for the starting offense, though. Could be. Not necessarily. I'll watch whatever else they do. All right. Rashawn Tyson breaks up a pass, the rookie safety. All right, Houston taking over at the 32-yard line, and I don't want this called in the preseason. Get down. Short run here for Mitchell up to the 48-yard line. Are we about to blow another lead to the New England Patriots? I want Javier Middleton on my team IRL now. Yeah, I mean, speed and some cover ability, why not? Wide open, it's Kitchen. If he makes another play, there might be a trade offer on GM's desk by end of the day. Here comes Austin Kitchen. We hand it to him, and he gets flattened at the 30. And that play doesn't work a ton. I think I've lowered the frequency that it gets called. Like, it's not one I want to see every game, but every now and then, sure. Open, Macklin inside the 20. And now it's going to be the backups the rest of the way, trying to not blow this game. I don't know if it made a bunch of changes here that I have to fix. I just don't want starters getting hurt is the main thing. Let's try Arrington in the slot this time. Haven't done that yet. Oh, yeah, I wanted to see the other receiver, too. So, I can't take Kitchen off the field, can I? Let's get Antonio Werner out there. All right, that took forever. I wish they would make the substitutions after possessions. Like, if the quarter ends, don't take them off the field. They're not doing that. Hairston gets us down to the 3. And how are we going to get this in the end zone now? Elliot Dishman hands off. And Russ Watson fights in! Another perfect fullback dive. He's mastered it. He's so good at the fullback dive. Here is the backup defense in the game now, and we'll see if we're able to protect a 15-point lead. Well, I love the Russ Watson meme. Traded up for a tight end, turned him into a fullback, and what a fullback he is. Wide open, gain of 18 yards. On first down, we got more pressure as Boykin throws the fade away, and it's intercepted. Off the tip and down the sideline. Well played. Rashawn Tyson, the rookie, makes the play. And now Elliot Dishman with the offense. They take over and Dishman throws incomplete. Second down, Dishman. Nowhere to go. Tough. So where does he go on third down and 16? Heavy pressure. Someone's got to be open. Won't matter. Taking a lot of sacks here in the preseason. I want to see more of the offense, preferably. Intercepted by Leo McLean. We're getting some takeaways. All right, Dishman, you're set up here inside the red zone. This shouldn't be too difficult. To throw on first down. In the corner! Incomplete. Tried to give Arrington a chance there. Dishman will try it again on second down. Over the middle and Blues inside the 10. Kitchen, bottom of the screen. Antonio Werner, I believe, is top of the screen. As Dishman fires to the end zone and misses Austin Kitchen. We're going for it. 4th and 2, up 15 in the fourth quarter. A field goal makes it a 2-score lead, but we're going to run it, and we don't get it. Why did we go for it there? Get it back to the offense. They went 4 and out. Put me back in the game. So it did that sim glitch there where it simmed the possession. We got a field goal out of it. So we'll watch the end of this. I don't think we're going to get... Oh, okay. I guess I'm playing here. That's all fine, but I want to get back to my press box, please. But it is 4 o'clock now. It's about when I wanted to get this ended. I got some other stuff I got to do. So I don't think we'll make it to the 4th game, but we got through a lot of the preseason here. This is going to be a big run for Gillislee inside the 25. Uh-oh, Fowler's shaking up. You know what? We might get into some of it and like watch the 4th quarter or something. But I do got to get out of here pretty soon. Injuries could play an impact, though, getting us into the early season. I think I'll watch this drive, sim to the end, get us to the game 4, and we can either watch part of the 4th quarter, or I could sim it. Dishman. This makes you want to get good backup tackles just for a better preseason to evaluate. Dishman heads to the air once again. He will get the pass away to Blue. 3 of 8. He just isn't getting any protection up front. And I mean, the tackles are like 61 overall, so that's going to happen. I appreciate that, Stats Life. I actually do have something for tomorrow's stream. It's not like a full-on blackjack draft class, but I'm looking at getting a couple more custom players into the class that I'll just put in myself. I do appreciate it. Maybe I would use it for a future one or something. Thank you for the super chat, though. But yeah, Broncos off season tomorrow. It's not really a Broncos off season because now it's going to be the entire league that we're following. And also tomorrow, the Kalispell documentary, movie, whatever you call an edited 2-hour, 7-minute experience. Whatever you consider that to be. That's what it is. The video's done. I could put it public right now if I wanted to, but I'm holding it for tomorrow. I think the new format for the Broncos is going to be really, really fun. At the very least, like, I'm pretty much done with the series anyway, and it's a good, you know, experiment. But I think it's going to have a chance to be really fun. Ernie Pittman to 76. First game for the Texans? I'd probably aim to do that around Monday-ish. Because what do I have doing tomorrow? I have the Broncos stream. I have... I'm posting that Kalispell video, which isn't going to take much effort at all. So I got to find something else to do over the weekend. Wait, did I miss something with the Broncos series? For anybody that hasn't already heard, obviously in the Broncos series, we've won 4 rings in a row. There hasn't really been a big challenge in the series for a while. And we're also only a couple months away from the next Madden. We have this amazing league, I believe, that we've built over the course of the 9 seasons in series. And I think that rather than just play another year with the Broncos or switch it to a different team and play a season with them, it would be more fun for me to follow the league as a whole and to record games similar two in the Texans franchise that are CPU, and we can go around the league and check on all sorts of different teams and players, and I'll present to you basically the entire league instead of just the Denver Broncos. So if a team starts out playing hot, we can focus on one of their games for a video, along with having highlights from the Broncos game that week along with it. I can do some more simming, get through it quicker, because like at the end of the day, y'all would want like probably a long-term sim anyway. This to me is just an improved version of that. Ooh, plus speed. First coverage upgrade here for Russell. So, you know, it's me trying to say that a 10-year sim doesn't sound satisfying compared to all the work that's been put into this. And at the same time, I'm kind of done with the Broncos. And then we're only a few months from the next Madden. How many seasons could I even play on my own? So it's gonna be fun. And like the format for it, I think is gonna be very similar to the Rockies. If you've watched any of those games, those episodes where it's like, oh, 4 minutes of this game, and then 10 minutes focused on this matchup. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm into. And now I might even do some of the games in live commentary. Something I thought of literally during this stream. That's how fluid this stuff is. But I thought about like, you know, I can have a couple games that are recorded and say, edit those down. It's a couple highlights of the Broncos game, a couple highlights of the Giants game, and then I get into a live commentary of the game of the week. And you still get that live play-by-play experience in there. And you know, like, for playoffs, I'm going to have to think of something fun. For the Broncos, turn on X Factor. For CPU, I actually think I agree with that. Because I use X Factors in like this. I think it would make sense. It's a good call. So I would like to sim basically to the fourth quarter of this. Will I stream any of it? Totally. It's a perfect stream format. And I'm really excited to work on it. I feel like we are on V6 with the Texans playbook, not V1. We're certainly on a different version, but I just like to overwrite the file rather than make a new one. I was making new ones in the Bucks series because I was noticing that certain things didn't seem to be like saving when I would overwrite. So then I got like to the point where I was making a new file every time, but it hasn't been like that on this Madden. Like, I felt like my game plan changes weren't holding when I was just overwriting with the Bucks. Maybe they were, and I just didn't know what I was doing. That's always a possibility. I always consider the possibility that I have literally no idea what I'm doing, no matter what it is. Never rule it out. Alright, this is going to be kind of the finale here of the preseason. You know what? I just want Gordon Ramsay to play tackle. Like, why couldn't Gordon Ramsay play tackle? At least one of them will be a little bit better. Broncos documentary in the future? I don't know. Like, I'm going to take the feedback that people give me from the Kalispell series and then see where we're at after I, you know, play out this vision I have for the rest of the Broncos, and we'll just see. I can't see that far into the future. I keep my ideas very flexible. How many positions is he playing? Oh, this is so annoying. Whatever. I'm not moving him there then. Watch a couple more drives, and we'll be ready for the real deal here soon. I might even get to week 1 earlier now because I'm just going to wrap up all this preseason stuff, and there's no reason I couldn't possibly get an episode out. I'll try this weekend. I do sometimes chill a bit more on Sundays, so we'll see. All right, we're letting Floyd Sheffield finish out the preseason this year. And this is a familiar sight. We've given up so much pressure here. On 2nd down and 17, Sheffield escapes the pocket successfully and cuts it back, getting 12 yards. He's so good at that. Honestly, if you just got into the stream, the preseason has not been all that eventful. Cordell Hillhouse suffered a semi-serious knee injury. He's going to miss a few games. But our backup offensive line has basically made this... what's a term for not being able to evaluate? Like, unevaluatable. Because we're just constantly watching the quarterbacks get sacked. Next year, remind me, if I somehow forget, to just sign the best tackles available. Because these backups are just, like, it's not entertaining. On 1st down, we have Sheffield again under pressure, but he gets it away, and Blue turns up. I can't believe we have a 1st down. Nice job, Daniel Blue. This is a good way to get him some experience, more so than at running back. Sheffield throwing on 1st down, and by throwing, I mean fumbling. Is Luke Irvin in the league yet? Yeah, he's backup quarterback on the Raiders. Jeez. How can it literally happen every play? Like, when can he just drop back and throw it? Always gotta throw you a donation whenever I can catch you live. Keep it up. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate the super chat very much. Thank you. Out to Blue on the screen. Surprised we did not convert the 3rd and 30. Throw it deep. I'm begging you, just throw it downfield and let whatever happens, happens. It is deflected on the pass for... I keep forgetting his name. Arrington. Give me the ball back. For some reason, I want to see more. Yep, I still do a member stream every month on the main channel. Every month, I stream with the channel members, and it's usually about an hour, hour and a half long, and I talk about, you know, plans for the channel, different things regarding just like the series. Like, I've talked about this Kalispell documentary there, and, you know, given my thoughts on where we're going with the Broncos franchise. Kind of like a good place for me to gather feedback and to just share different things for the first time, really. I wish draft classes were cross-platform. There's no reason why they can't integrate the sharing to be universal. Sheffield gets it away, and it's a bit overthrown, but we'll see if we can convert. 4th and 20. Sheffield gets it away. He'll take a shot, and it's incomplete. Rough game here. So, the Broncos draft class, I didn't do anything with it during the season. I'm going to edit in some players that will kind of finalize that whole callus spell arc. But I wasn't quite sure what the future of the series was going to be, and I didn't want to ask Blackjack if he wanted to make another class, because there's just not much time until the next Madden comes out. I didn't know what I wanted to do with the series, so I don't even know the draft class. I'm going to learn it and then share it with you tomorrow, but I can tell you that some players from the Callus Spell Dynasty are going to be in there. Phoenix Chambers is going to be in the class, and probably a couple others that you'll recognize, because I want this to kind of be the last class, or the last like batch of Callus Spell players. Yeah, that was just a rough preseason overall. Next year, maybe a better second team O-line, because you can't even evaluate a team taking that many sacks. We took 20 sacks in those 4 games. Not great. Sheffield was the leading rusher, though. That's obviously interesting. Gillisley for a carry. Yeah, it wasn't the most exciting preseason, so we'll try again next year, obviously, but I'm sure we can't do this bad again. Wes McKinney, how was the punting? I mean, it was down there, 4 inside the 20, along a 72. I say we give him a shot. So yeah, I'll make final cuts, and then we will get on to the real deal as far as injuries go. It's just Hillhouse that's going to miss a few games. Looking around the league for any others. There's Ed Oliver, a couple players here, pretty highly rated on the Bucks. That's a big injury. That's going to impact week 1. Oh yeah, I think I was going to ask, should I do week 1 as I normally do, or are you so tired of the Jaguars that you'd rather me sim week 1 and the first game we watch is actually week 2? What do you think? That coach level 1 doesn't sound right, unless that's like a legacy thing, because I've obviously used his XP a lot. Rather watch the Rams and sim week 1? Yeah, we always watch week 1. I don't mind simulating it and then getting into week 2. Yeah, week 1 is special. I like to generally watch all of them, but it's again Jacksonville. The Jaguars did sign 1 million running backs, including Jeremiah Bradham. What's he going to be on their depth chart, though? Probably top guy, yeah. We can always watch the Jaguars game the second time around if it's interesting. We play them late, last game of the season. We're probably watching that. We don't need 2 Jaguars games this year. Half the series is in division, I feel. Alright, everybody, that is going to do it for the stream today. Wasn't the most exciting, but I had a good time hanging out and getting the preseason all wrapped up for another year of the Texans franchise. I appreciate all the support, all the comments, and just being able to make this content every day. It's something I do not take for granted. Appreciate it, everybody. I will be seeing you tomorrow with a Broncos stream on the main channel. And then, if you are interested, the big Kalispell movie documentary thing is going to be available tomorrow after the live stream I do for the Broncos. So have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all next time.